I've decided that, at least for a very long time, I will no longer be making any Tekken content. And the reason I have isn't quite like everybody else in the space that has made that same declaration. And I've never really been a stickler about things like balancing and stuff. I've always been of the opinion that, like, if a character is broken and it's something that upsets you, just pick the broken character. Just to let you know where my thought process comes from when it comes to this sort of thing, because I believe you should never let yourself be made upset by a bunch of ones and zeros that like other people program. My main issue is how Bandai Namco handles things like updating the game, as well as how unpredictable the patches seem to be, and how it's kind of made my previous project really stressful. Stressful because I've been working on like a really big technical concept for a video that takes a very long time to make, with a lot of things in it, only to be worried that a new patch would be released that would like invalidate months of work. So my issues probably don't translate all that well because they're highly tailored to the kind of videos that I make. Now, to give you a little bit of background that goes into making one of my videos is I usually start off with the 3D software Blender, where I'll need to spend some time modeling an entire scene. Kind of like the one that I usually have had, you know, for the most part, like a sort of futuristic sci-fi office, etc. Then I would sometimes try to find like assets online that I can maybe, you know, use. I'll also make use of things like remeshing tools that allow me to take video footage, strip them out of the video game, and allow me to relight them inside of Blender. And for things like the custom UIs that I have for my command list, I actually like make those by hand inside of Canva, and then I go into Premiere Pro and I like animate them moving and bouncing and chugging. And the thing about this entire pipeline, outside of the manual work of say making the UI stuff and actually modeling environments, because those can really be done once off, is that like when it comes to say rendering it all out, it takes an insane amount of time. Like my first video took me about like 2 months to make, but I think that was also attributed to the fact that like I was very new to like trying to make all this stuff work with just my iPhone. So maybe at most making a single video will probably take like 1 month. Yeah, and that's really the problem, isn't it? Because a month of time I don't think is a lot for a project like this, but because Tekken is in such a broken state, so many things can happen in a month. Because I actually remember one of the biggest things I was worried about was when I was releasing the Instant While Standing video, I was actually very worried that like after all those 2 months of work, I remember an update was coming. And I was afraid that in the update, Bandai Namco would add something that made the Instant While Standing 2 super simple, rendering like all that work moot. It would be like a spectacle, sure, but it would be a pointless video, right? And they actually have proven that they would be willing to go this far when it comes to like gutting legacy like tech, because they even did that thing with Law. I don't really know how Law plays, but there was this big scandal or something on Twitter where like Spaghetti Rip was very upset that they actually took a thing that required years of skill to do with Law and they just made it simple, you know?
Because of the easy DSS, you can literally just hold forward and mash on 1+2 to get that natural combo. Like literally just mash 1+2 as fast as you can and you'll get it.
You know, like another time it happened was like, I think it was 2 videos back, I ended my video with this line. A new patch has dropped that's getting the community excited about playing the game again. And like 2 days later, I was literally posting this. This incident like sort of captures my issue with this game. It brings me back to why I'm making this video, because it kind of happened again. So a couple of weeks back, I actually teased that I was going to be making like an Alyssa video. And the premise of the video was that I, as a Kazuya player, have actually been struggling to learn Alyssa. I thought that was a pretty good hook.
You moved from Kazuya to Alyssa. Okay, now you're just fucking trolling. You moved from Kazuya to Alyssa and you're struggling. You're not pressing nearly as fast as you should be pressing on the fucking buttons, that's for sure.
Anyway, so I decided like play a couple of online matches with some friends, play some online, and those early games kind of highlighted all the points I wanted to make so unbelievably perfectly about my struggles with Alyssa. And then maybe I wasn't paying attention to the update schedule or list, but the game updated again and nuked all of those replays. And the thing is, those replays were fucking perfect, okay? They communicated everything that I wanted to express so perfectly. You could see exactly what I was struggling with, and I could communicate why. And I thought that was so technically fascinating as a concept. And so whatever, I bit the bullet, and I messaged a friend of mine, asked him if we could like run a couple of sets so I can get like more replays. And looking back at the new replays, that thing is not there, because I'm not the beginner with Alyssa that I was. I mean, I'm still pretty like novice, but like the things I want to communicate, they aren't here, you know? And so I've tried so many things to like recreate these points. I've tried fighting the ghosts, I've tried recreating scenarios in practice mode, and the only conclusion I could come to is that I need to just go online and just fucking play some more matches. And then the moment where I finally decided I'm gonna make this video and just be like, I'm done with this game, I open Steam and my Tekken cloud will just not sync. And I'm like, I am so done. I can't with this game. It's like the landscape is shifting under me constantly. And because of how long my videos take to make, they can be technically impressive, but somehow I'll always be punished by the fact that these people can't get this shit together. Yeah, I guess now is a better time than any to make good on the Does Games part of my channel name and start, I guess, talking about other games. I have been playing a lot of like a bit, and there's like a lot of very interesting mechanics that I kind of want to like explore in my usual 3D style that I think you guys are going to find interesting. But it's also kind of reassuring because like as a single player game, it's not going to be like changing constantly. And I know that like probably the majority of you are here because of my Tekken content and you are like Tekken players, but I do hope you'll stick around because I am always trying interesting things with like visual presentation and video games. Well, Tekken up until this point, but I'm going to be expanding it more to like other games in the meantime. So yeah, on that note, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.